Welcome and welcome back, everyone. Wally here. Tonight, we're going to be watching Why Marriage is Dead. Never been married, but at least I want to figure out why I should never go there. Or is there any chance, any point in this day and age of ours? Do tell me if you are married. How is it going? Have you been divorced? Are you going towards a divorce? Or are you actually happily married? And what is your secret? I think a lot of people want to know. Ladies, do jump in the discussion. Your opinion is quite valuable. Let's see what people have to say.
Marriage is falling apart.
What do women look for and what do men look for? And has it always been the same or has that evolved?
We look for a reincarnation of our childhood. So if you were given consistent care, love, unconditional, all that good stuff as a child, which very few people get, but if you do get it, if you're lucky enough to come out of childhood unscathed, then you'll look for stable, caring, consistent monotony. And you'll meet those people who just met somebody in high school, got married, and now they're still together. They just walk their dog on the weekends, very calm life. And there's other people who grew up
Yeah, and I know a few cases. Wow, I could hear myself. And I think that maybe if I put the volume higher for TikTok, that might work better. Let's see. I have two cases. Both of them they're actually together since high school, and they're still going strong. A couple with kids, a couple without kids. But those ones are so freaking rare. And what she said about having like the parents and so on, okay. So we're all marked by our parents and our childhood.
with chaos, abuse, neglect, trauma, something like that. And so what they'll look for is somebody who can reincarnate those feelings. And they don't realize it. So they find themselves in one toxic relationship after the other, saying this person was bad, that person was bad, not realizing that they attached to that toxicity because of how they've been programmed to
Yeah.
think love is defined by chaos.
Okay. At some point, I was saying that there are actually two options for me. Either I pick them damaged, or I damage them on the way, because otherwise it doesn't make any sense. So it's like I kind of understand what she's saying. So let's see. That's why you do the work to change your love language. Okay, we should all stay single. I'm just going through some of the comments because honestly, I'm there just for the comment section. People often look for the opposite of their terrible childhood. I think it's about the subconscious here, not about, yeah. Sounds like a solid truth to me. I had a chaotic childhood, and probably why I zero interest in relationships, marriage, children, family, etc. Okay. 100% she couldn't deal with someone who treated her well. I don't understand why people are so mean on the internet. Okay.
If you marry, there's about a 56% chance that your marriage will end in divorce.
What
Shit.
percentage of marriages do you think actually fail?
If we consider failure staying together miserable for the children or staying together for financial, economic reasons, and then we add that to the 56% that end in divorce, then, I mean, it would be very hard to track that, but I think it's general.
Do you know what this means? This means that the best profession that you can actually have, it's either a marriage counselor or a divorce lawyer. There's like endless amount of customers coming through your door. You're going to have to kick them out.
Generous to think it's another 20% probably. But I mean, think about what that adds up to. That means that you've got something that fails 75% of the time. That is more likely than not to cause significant harm in your life. So I think the statistic that's even more interesting to me than how many marriages end in divorce or how many people stay together miserable is that 86% of people who divorce remarry within 5 years. So
no way.
About that. You've done this thing. It's failed. You've gone through this difficult process of having to undo it. And now within 5 years, 86% of people remarry. That tells you how important this is to us as humans.
Or that we don't learn from our mistakes, or that definitely you need to think about being a divorce lawyer or a counselor, like marriage counselor, couples therapy, whatever. Those are like they're never going away. Actually, now you can use, there was Grok. You had the AI AI bot that could actually do therapy. Never tried it on that, but I don't know, it might work or not. Oh, that's interesting. 86%. Shit.
If you marry.
I will not be the only one to watch this. I beg.
One reason that a marriage will not work is because the husband does not lead and the wife does not help. You become his
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
competitor instead of his complement. And one of the things that we face in the world today is a society that is constantly telling the wife, don't you allow your life to be submitted or to serve his. You go out and compete with him. You do everything.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Instagram. Thank you, TikTok influencers. You're doing a great job.
Everything as well as he can. Anything you can do, I can do better. The problem is that whenever a wife loses sight of what God
Except the hard jobs that not even the men actually want. Those are more complicated, let's say.
has created her to do inside the household, she's not competing with her husband, she's competing with God's purpose. And when you compete with God's purpose, guess who never wins? You. Accept this fact, your man needs help, and God has sent you into his life to do just that. So what does he need help with? Everything. But how you...
Oh, man, am I weird? I don't see relationships like this. I think probably that's why I'm going to die single. I'm not in the extreme with the religious part either, and the woman has to do that and the man has to do that. I think normally it's 2020 freaking 5. We need to freaking wake up a bit. It's like, it shouldn't be a competition. We should complete each other. Understand, okay, fine. In a couple, what are you good at? What is she good at? Vice versa. Acknowledge what your strengths and weaknesses are and work together. I met couples where she was amazing at finances, he was amazing at freaking working nonstop. Whatever works. He was bringing more money, but she was better at managing the money. It was a team effort. Now they're both working, they're working together, but they're working as a freaking team. That's the important part. The moment you start competing in a couple, then you're screwed. And let's face it, you have to face enough competition outside of the household, right? Why in the name of any kind of freaking Lord would you want to go home where you have more competition? I don't get it. It doesn't make sense. And that with like, you have to be submissive and shit. Oh, come on. Oh, it's okay. Maybe probably I'm the one damaged.
Help him is how you measure your willingness to submit to God's word. You don't help him by keeping a record of all of his wrongs. Go read 1 Corinthians. It says, love keeps no record of what? Wrong. When you find a fault in your man, you just put that on your list of things to fix at some point in time. But you fix it with...
But you don't need to fix it. Why do you need to fix everything?
Gentleness, and you fix it with love. You don't fix it by pointing it out and constantly bringing it up every chance that you get. God made you as a woman different from your husband for a reason, so that your strengths would complement his weaknesses and his strengths would complement your weaknesses. When you see something in your husband that's a shortcoming, you just add that to your job description. We'll fix that later.
I will not be the only...
We'll fix that later on. Okay, yeah. So it's like we need to put that on the wall. Yeah, done. Plugs. Yes, done. Take rubbish. Okay, every Friday, about 5 o'clock. Okay, he was basically saying more or less the same thing that I was saying, but he was putting God and stuff and religion in the mix. I love this video. Please help me, God, to fix my mistake, and Lord, please give me a man that will submit to you. Oh, okay. I've noticed that religion is starting to play a bigger and bigger role lately. And I know I'm an ass, but I think religion and politics are starting to play a bigger and bigger role when you have more financial hardship, I think. Man, my nose is so red, I really can apply for a Rudolph position. Anyway, it's good. As long as people think that people find meaning, go for it. Go wild.
We know facts. Marriage is overwhelmingly unsuccessful. It is way more dangerous than skydiving. The chances of a...
Honestly, yes. 56 to 75% usually crash. And if you do actually have the paperwork, everything you have will crash. So definitely, yeah, that was a good one. So marriage is more dangerous than skydive.
Catastrophic skydiving incident is like 0.0003, and one where you die is 0.00001. It's like very limited, the chances of dying from skydiving. Whereas the chances of divorce, again, 56% divorce rate. How many stay together who are unhappy and they just stay together because they don't give up half their stuff or for religious reasons or whatever? This is a technology with an unbelievably bad failure rate. Many people's sense of self dies as part of an unhappy marriage. It's not a question of will you die. It's that you're alive and not living your life in a way that's enjoyable or in a way that's authentic to who you are. And I think a lot of people are doing that as a function of the choice that they made of marriage. And again, I'm not saying don't get married. But what I'm saying is when someone says, I'm getting married, why is it impolite to say, why? Why?
Are you sure you want to do that? Do you have a prenup? Did you check for red flags? And wait, we reacted to a video a few days ago, and apparently there's a statistic that men actually die at least around 7 years earlier than women. He was mostly focusing on married men, that they die like around 7 years earlier than women. So apparently it does kill you faster.
About to do something incredibly dangerous that fails so much of the time. Why not just say, why? I'm not saying, why would you do that? It's stupid. I'm saying, why? Because most people's answer doesn't make any sense. First of all, you're not even allowed to ask the question why. If anything, if you don't say, oh my God, that's so great, you have intimacy issues. We know facts. Marriage is overwhelmingly unsuccessful. It is.
Oh, okay. Yeah, marriage is a big scam. Of course. These are all the comments. Cool.
This is one of the red flags that signals when a marriage is about to end.
The disappearing spouse. All of a sudden, they're off doing other things, not wanting to have date night.
Not coming to the extracurricular activities of the kids, like baseball, hockey, not wanting to spend any dinners with the family.
Honestly, with that one, I have to disagree. That's just shitty parenthood. It's like, it doesn't matter if me and the missus are not in a good position or in a good relationship or we're not even together. I'm not going to the kids' activities for the wife or the mother of the kid. I'm going for the actual kid, right? People should completely disconnect this shit. Doesn't matter that you're not married anymore. The kid is still yours. If you're not sure, take a freaking DNA test and take it off of your mind. But the kid is still the kid. And again, I'm weird, apparently.
Version from their normal routine.
Disappearing, red flag.
This is one of
Okay, yeah, disappearing is a red flag. My husband did this before leaving me. He drove to Sacramento to visit his brother in jail on Thanksgiving. Yeah, but how many brothers do you have in jail? Why didn't you go with him? Go visit the uncle with the kids and so on. Always never did this from the beginning. Yeah, usually things don't come from the beginning. And the more discussions I have with people and with mates about this kind of things, it's not like shit is destroyed from the beginning. And cases that I've seen where, let's be honest, I think in most of the cases, the women started either nagging or imposing themselves too much or things like that. Like we seen yesterday, there was a lady, she was complaining that the husband doesn't take out the rubbish at the particular time that she wants and the schedule that she wants and all of these things. Over years, this kind of crap gathers up. And at some point, it boils up. And it's not like, yeah, he realized today that that's it. He doesn't want it anymore. Come on. And I suppose the vice versa works as well. Well, my parents are both doing that, but they are already split up. So now I don't have a father figure, nor a mother figure. Any advice? Oh shit, that's bad. Ooh, that's so sad for this kid. Yeah. I knew because my Facebook ads started showing divorce lawyers. Guess who was Googling? Man, technology is good. Technology is so good in our days. Oh, I need to remember that for the future. So if you start seeing weird commercials with weird ads, something is going on.
One of the greatest signs that I have noticed about a dying marriage is lack of kissing. Back then, you used to kiss so much. When she goes to work, when he goes to work, you would kiss. But now, you can't even kiss for anything. That's a sign of a dying marriage. The intimacy is gone. The love called eros is no longer existing in the union. And when the love gets to that stage, you ought to be at a place where you are now alert, because if you don't fix that area, it will further damage and further drift away from your spouse because the love has grown cold. One of the greatest...
I think all of this kind of stuff that we're watching tonight, they're not only about marriage, they're about couples in general. And the moment that physical contact disappears, if those hugs disappear, if the kissing disappears, the touching of hands and all of this crap, you kind of have problems. You lose the intimacy part, you lose everything. And from what we've watched so far, we learned that sex goes off the table with marriages as well. So no matter how you put it, we kind of lose, don't we? 40 years of being married. My husband kisses me before he goes to work and every night before he goes to sleep. Man, that's really good. That's nice. Good for them. That's literally, I'm actually happy for any. So we have to understand, if 75% of marriages are either completely destroyed or suffering, so either they divorce or they're in constant pain, when you hear things like this, the 41 years of marriage and so on, that's like top 25%, baby. You guys go. You're good. So it's good to hear this kind of things as well. Everyone's relationship is different. Completely true. Not everyone is touchy-feely or likes to kiss. Doesn't necessarily mean there's no love. Everyone's love language is different. Okay, fine. I give it to you. But if you start a relationship in one way and you don't maintain that vibe, were you faking it at the beginning or is something changing? That's the thing that's I think what he was talking about. Maybe. Mine is already dead. The burial is tomorrow. I need your condolences, please.
Do guys that are single never want to get married again? This comment right here, marriage is for suckers.
If you break it down fundamentally, 56% of marriages end in divorce. Like, think about, that's the ones that end in divorce.
Oh, really?
So how many people, what percentage stay together for the kids? Or because they don't want to give away half their shit? Another 10%? That's conservative.
Conservative.
But let's say 20% then, okay?
That's at least right.
You now have a technology that fails 76% of the time. That's insane. That's insane. That's more likely than not. 76%. If I told you there's a 76% chance when you walk out the door today, you're going to get hit in the head with a bowling ball, you would not go out, or you'd wear a helmet for sure. But people just continue to get married. Not only do they continue to get married, there's a presumption that you should get married. And if you don't.
Oh, and it depends on where you're living, depends on the culture of your country and so on. So I'm Eastern European. Man, now it's changing, of course. We're going Western mentality. But when I was growing up, if you were like 20 something, oh, you're not getting married. It's already like you're not making a family. What's going on? For women, it was even worse. It's like, I'll give it to them. That was, oh, you're becoming an old woman. She's 22. What the fudge? At least now we're more adjusting a bit. But yeah. Okay, we kind of know what this guy is saying. And is marriage for suckers? For losers. I'm still a romantic. I still think like long-term relationships really make sense. And I'm hopeful that we will carry on having this kind of things. Unfortunately, if you check the trends and you see what's going on in social media and what the kids are listening to, the new generations, it's kind of fading away. And when I was in uni 2 years back, my colleagues, they were in their like early 20s. Guys were mostly Andrew Tate, big G, big G, big G. And the women were like, I'm independent, I am free. So if you put big G and independent woman and you try to put them together, that's not going to mash out perfectly. That's not going to mash out anything, actually. So no matter how positive I'm trying to be or how romantic, chances of this kind of thing to actually go on, it's getting slimmer and slimmer. As a widow, I would love to be married again. Marriage is hard work, but with the right partner, it can be a beautiful experience. 1,000,000% true. It's just getting harder and harder to find that person. And before you jump, why? Because from what I see, most people try to find a partner online, and that's just like swiping. We're putting the ratings on freaking everything now. Even like that, what's your rating? What's your body score, body count? What's your... It's like you're ordering Uber Eats, man. Takes any kind of romance out of shit. And dudes are losing. It's not about the capability, but they're really getting probably even scared and intimidated when it comes to actually reaching out to a woman in real life. I can't understand why, because basically anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law, and I'm not even joking. Before it was a joke, now it's not even a joke. So it's sad, but yeah. Naturally, I get this. Spiritually speaking, I'm team marriage. I love what God loves. Yeah, we don't know. That's all for today. That's all for tonight. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Go touch grass. Enjoy life. It's short, but it's beautiful.